All right, everybody, and welcome to the Swiss Army Nerd Podcast. This is your host, John Stickrod, and my co-host is actually away right now. He's got some stuff going on, but I didn't want to leave you guys hanging because we just got on YouTube last week. So I decided to uh, fire my producer. I'm just kidding. Just decided to do it myself. Just a little one-on-one time, I guess. I don't know how good of a podcast it's gonna make. I don't even know how good it's gonna sound. So hopefully it sounds good on YouTube and SoundCloud. But we'll see, I guess. Because I'm doing it from my house, obviously, by all that nerd stuff in the background. But yeah, I thought I'd do a little one-on-one stuff. Just in case people want to kind of see a different side of the podcast. Um, yeah, we've never really like even ever since season one, we've never like sat down and like, hey, like let's let people know what we're about type deal. Um, so I figured it was a good chance with Neil being away uh, to uh, to just I don't know maybe explore something new about myself. So uh, I don't have the usual video games and movies and sports and all that. I don't have that. That's I guess Neil's job. So I don't have all that, but I thought I'd give you guys a little glimpse into myself. I got my rock shirt on, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about why I we started the Swiss Army Nerds and give you guys a little behind the peek behind the curtains, I guess. Um, if you guys want to peek, you're gonna peek whether you like it or not if you're listening or watching. Um, Also, Swiss Army Nerds, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. Oh God, I love the cheesy plugs. But yeah, so I guess why people ask me like, oh, where did Swiss Army Nerds come from? I'm very proud to say I came up with that. It's completely original. Uh, can I say trademarked? Yeah, trademarked. Uh, I wanted to do something because when we came up with the idea for the podcast, we wanted to do something, and we wanted to like really connect with a broad audience. And I kept thinking like, because I'm a little bit different in the sense like I'm not saying I'm unique, but there's not many of us walking around where it's like I love hitting the gym. I love sports. I love wrestling. That's good. That's gonna be good on YouTube. Uh, I love video games. I love movies. I love just a little bit of everything. I mean, and nowadays it seems like we like to seclude people. Like if you like video games, you're this nerd that never does anything, which isn't true, obviously. And I'm not saying that that is true, but I wanted something that kind of explained that we can do a bunch of different things. And so I was playing with a Swiss Army knife and I was like, well, Swiss Army knives are meant to do everything. And I was like, oh, but would be a good idea is that we can do everything. Like with a Swiss Army Nerds, we can talk about everything. We can talk about sports. I can go there and tell you how the Heat are doing, how the Lakers are doing, how Isaiah Thomas is going to fit in with the Lakers, how LeBron's doing, how he's having an MVP year, but no one's paying attention to him. I can talk about that, and I do on my other podcast with Steve Cockerham, which also usually streams every Monday. But I can talk about that, but then I can also talk about, Destiny 2, World War II, Logan movies, you name it. I can talk about a lot of it. I'm not saying it's coherent and it's intelligent, but I can talk about it. And Neil's kind of the same way. Not so much about the sports and stuff, but we can talk about a little bit of everything. So that's where it came from. I wanted a moniker that, like, okay, this is our definition. We can do a little bit of everything. So that's a little bit of why we picked the name. It had nothing to do with the Swiss Army Man movie, which I'm sure people don't believe, but it didn't. I didn't know about that until after we came up with the name. Uh, I came up with the name. So yeah, I just wanted something a little unique, uh, cool. I like it. I think it's cool. One of I guess my creative person is in the middle of designing our really cool logo that I'm excited to unveil, but it's not done yet. So, but yeah, that's where the name came from, and it kind of just stuck, and it kind of grew. And I guess while I'm talking about like we came up with the idea to do the podcast because it just seems like nowadays like podcasts are obviously super popular. Most of the time it's like celebrities and whatnot. But like we live in a world nowadays where it seems like the day of conversations like face to face and all that stuff are just going away. Um, and like Neil, my co-host, one of my best friends, and like we would go to the gym and we'd do stuff and watch movies and stuff, but we weren't really like conversating like we used to. So we were like, it'd be really cool as a podcast. And I always thought he was hysterical, and I thought he's a gold mine of material. So I was like, all right. And I pitched the idea to him, and he actually had the same idea, and we just took off with it. So we just wanted to get back to our roots and kind of just be two dudes that like make each other laugh and talk about it and just jive together and stuff. And I don't know, it just kind of took off. I mean, we've done probably 30, 40 episodes, something like that. A lot of episodes. And I've loved every one. They're all so fun. And we've had like guests on and like friends that we never get the chance to like sit down and talk with and stuff. So that's really cool. Like I had a lot of fun with that. Just the idea, like it's kind of a dead thing now, is sit down and get to know someone because nowadays you have all these social media outlets. You can just creep on someone and figure everything out. So I came up with this idea, and it was good, and it was Neil's idea too. It's just we kind of combined. We talked about it forever. What originally was like a YouTube channel where we just record us doing stupid things, but it it evolved and we came up with this idea for the podcast. And I I guess look at that. I'm segueing. Neil's gonna love that. Just segueing. That Neil was kind of the perfect. I think he's the only one I could go and do this with. Just because we always meshed so well. Like me and him we used to do it all the time in college. We still do it whenever we drive together, where we just get in a car and we just entertain each other. We just make each other laugh and we talk about dumb things. And we're always competing at like who's funnier, who's goofier, stuff like that. It's just general competitiveness, but we both like making each other laugh and stuff. And like that kind of just meshed well into a podcast, because if I think he's funny, if other people think he's funny, I mean, I think most of our viewers and listeners would think he was funny. So I don't think I could do it with anyone else. I just thought he was perfect. I mean, he's so entertaining and he's so funny and he's like secretly intelligent. Like, even though he says a lot of stuff, but he's actually super intelligent. He just plays it off well. Um, but he does his research. He does all that. He's a perfect co-host. I'm like, and ask him. He can turn one of my worst questions, because if you've listened previously, I do questions at the beginning. He can turn on like a subpar question. He can turn that into hystericalness, and that's rare. He's got a talent for that, and he's always been an entertainer. So that's why I enjoyed having the idea of Neil doing it with me. I thought that Neil just, I don't know. For me, there's no better co-host that I could sit and jive with for hours on end and laugh all the way through consistently. And like every laugh I have, it's from the gut. Like I really do think he's funny, and I think the stuff he says is funny. So, and I think a lot of people do. He's always been funny. I co-host wise, I don't think there's no one better. So it worked. Me and Neil always kind of had our own little podcast in our head, and we were always talking movies, video games, all those things, and it just worked. It just worked well, and that's why that's why where Swiss Army Nerds came from. That's why we're Swiss Army Nerds. That's why Neil's my co-host. I wouldn't have it any other way. Um, he always he has a talent that he doesn't realize. So I'm strapping the old rocket straps to him, and yeah, so that's why Neil's my co-host. Oh no, I'm so sorry. That is a rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Anyway, yeah, Neil's a great guy. He's a lot of fun to do this with. I guess while we're on it, I have two producers. One I've interviewed a couple times. Actually, I've interviewed both of them on the show. I think season 1 and season 2. One of them is Patrick Star O'Mara, and he's our second producer. And then our first producer is Thomas McCula, and he's been on one time before, but he's a behind the scenes guy for sure. But those two, even though they don't, I guess producer, I don't know what producers are supposed to do. I don't know if they do produce, but they help us with the show, and they help us with the camera and stuff like that. So they have fun with it. I mean, we all have fun with it, and we take it super. Well, I take it seriously, and I think they do too. I mean, I love it. Uh, I just think it's so fun, and I think they have fun because it's like a dying art type thing. At least for me, I shouldn't say dying art, but it feels like it's something we used to do in the days. Just make each other laugh, bust on each other, like things like that. So, but Patrick's fantastic. I met him through my work, and he's awesome. It was a lot of fun. Got to know him really good this year. Uh, Nicest guy you'll ever meet. Pretty sure we've tainted him. He used to be way nicer, but yeah, he's our co-producer, and then the main one, Tom. And I've known Tom since I was a little guy, so Tom's always been like my number two. So yeah, I mean those are I wish I had them here. I would love to interview them and stuff too, but they're awesome, and it's fun to have like a little cohesive unit where we can do this, have fun, talk movies, and get their thoughts because you never have the chance to do that anymore. Like it'd be weird to just text your buddy like, "Hey, what do you think of this movie?" At least for me, it would, um, personally. But yeah, they're my producers, and Neil's my co-host, and I wouldn't have it any other way. A lot of fun with them. I think it's noticeable too. I mean, we used to do this live on Facebook, and I miss those days. I would do that in a heartbeat again. But we just weren't getting the audience we wanted to get, at least expanding it. So we switched to YouTube, and we'll see how it goes. I mean, we know it's not like a get rich quick scheme or nothing like that. That's not where we do it. I've spent far more money than I've made. I haven't made any, so I'm negative a lot of money in this, but it's so fun, and that's the point of doing this. And I think that's a good place to start, is not trying to make money off of it. It's something a little bit deeper. But yeah, our, my, we're gonna try to make something of it. My producers and my co-host, we're trying. But yeah, so Neil's great. Obviously, well, I love him. He loves doing it. I'm pretty sure. I hope he does. Uh, Even though we bust on him all the time, he's definitely the co-host that makes it happen. He's, as I say, he's the talent, and I'm just the captain that steers the ship. So it's fun. He's great too. I'm gonna try to talk him into doing one of these one-on-one things. We'll see. People might actually end up hating this. I have no idea. Uh, it's kind of weird. I'm just sitting in here talking to a camera, but I think it's cool. I think it's gonna be a cool view in. Uh, but yeah, I talked about my producers, and I guess you guys don't really like. I always ask that Neil questions, but y'all don't really know, or maybe you don't care about my passions. But I'm gonna tell y'all, I love video games, man. That's probably my number one. It's my bread and butter right there. I played video games since I was like a kid. I remember playing Sega, like Lion King. I was no good at it, but I played that, and I'm an Xbox guy, but I don't hate PlayStation or nothing like that. I'll joke with them, but I don't. But I love Xbox, man, and it's just so much fun. It's just such a relaxer. But then on the flip side, probably I guess my biggest passion would be like lifting weights. It's the only thing I've ever been like good at. You can't really be bad at it. But I've always loved it. I went to college for it. It's my thing, man. I just love it. So it's funny though because I'm like I'll push myself so hard in the gym, and then I'll go home and sit on my ass and play Xbox for 4 hours. So it's like this flip side of like I don't know. It's just two sides of a coin, I guess. But those two are like my top two things. Movies I love, of course. I'm a huge comic book fan. I have a huge comic book collection. That's my cat back there doing her thing. Uh, I love her. She's awesome. Now I'm the weird YouTube cat person. Oh God, I didn't want to become that. Anyway, I'm a huge comic book fan. Have so many comics. I collected them when I was a kid. Back in the day when you just got money and the first thing you do was go down and buy comic books and stuff. Those were the days. But comic books I love. Obviously Marvel. I'm a Marvel guy. I don't hate DC or nothing like that. I know DC. I like DC. But I've just always, you know, been a Marvel guy. I always thought their characters were a little bit more in depth, which obviously you can argue to the end of time, but I was always a Marvel guy. Wolverine, I think, would be my number one. Hulk, pretty generic. I mean, but I always loved Logan, Wolverine, and that whole backstory. It's probably one of my top. Yeah, I'd say confidently that's my top superhero. Uh, what else is there? I'm running out of things to talk about myself. I'm not that interesting. I'm just kidding. No, I'm really not. But yeah, I like comic books. I like the Marvel movies. I like where it's going. I mean, anyone who's listened or watched knows I'm pumped for Infinity War. It's like it feels like I've been waiting 26 years to see this one movie or these two movies, I should say. So, um, I I used to hide this, but now I just own it and judge me if you want. But I love pro wrestling. I've watched it since I was a kid, man. That's what the Rock shirt's all about. Um, Stone Cold, The Rock, they put me on it. Uh, Man, do I love it, and I still watch it. I think once it's in your blood, you can't get it out. Like you just can't. It's just there. It's innate. But I dig it for sure. That's one of my passions. I watch it all the time. It's actually on the TV right now. That's definitely something I do. The Rock is my idol, which again, if you've listened or shout out to The Rock, you're the man. He idol's an actual. He's actually my idol. That's not a word I take lightly. But yeah, wrestling's that's my thing, and everyone knows I love The Rock. He was what made me a wrestling fan. Uh, just once he got in, just doesn't leave you, man. So yeah, I love wrestling and watching it and enjoying it. Uh, all of it. I'm not just a WWE guy. In sports, I would say sports are probably up there as one of my bigger passions. It took me a little bit to get into it. Like in middle school, I wasn't a big sports guy, but when I got older, really like Miami Heat. That's my basketball team. D Wade just went back to the Heat. So happy. He's the reason I'm a Heat fan. Actually, because I got to actually meet him, which is really cool. I didn't know he was going to be D Wade. Obviously, I didn't know he was going to be this Miami Heat legend. But that was when he was in Marquardt. Uh, but yeah, he yeah. What am I crazy? Yeah. I feel like I'm getting that college wrong. Maybe I am. I'm not sure. But I met him at a college game. Didn't even know it. And then he went to Miami, and that was probably when I started watching was 03, 02. So a lot of people like thought I jumped on the bandwagon when LeBron went there in 2010, but that is not the case. I just was I still am a very short uh, basketball fan. So whenever I said I like basketball, I just got laughed at. So I kept that a secret. But yeah, big Miami Heat fan, Detroit Lions fan. Funny enough, I'm from Florida, live in Western New York. I am not a Buffalo Bills fan, ironically enough. I'm a Lions fan, which is an equally terrible franchise. Uh, I've always been, man. I'm a Leo, so I always liked Lions. So when I was a kid, I picked the Lions. No one told me how horrible they were, and everyone always told me, once you pick a team, you gotta stay there. You gotta pick that team, and you gotta ride or die. And unfortunately, I picked them, but fortunately, I picked the New York Yankees as my baseball team. Uh, and they have, enough championships to uh to make it okay, I guess, to even out. Same with Heat. He's got a few. Uh, so I'm a Yankees, Miami Heat, Lions fan. Probably one of a kind. I mean, not many, but those are my teams. I love sports. I love stats. I'm always fascinated with sports that I could never ever do, which is 99% of sports. So like basketball is something I guess I could do it, but I could never be in an NBA. I was never that talented or that driven, I should say. But NBA, football, you name it. I love it. I love watching sports. It's stats, man. And I'm a I consider myself a sports historian. Like I do my homework on the all-time greats, the old school greats, the Bill Russells, the Michael Jordans, the Magic Johnsons, the Spud Webbs, all of those. Like I do that, and of course with football, like '85 Bears, the Lombardi years, like all of those. I try to do that research because I feel like nowadays it's it's a thing of the past to do your research. Is that a pun? I don't know. But yeah, I try to look into that stuff. I love it. I could talk sports for days. That's actually one of the reasons why well, no, that's probably the main reason I started, because I started another podcast under the Swiss Army Nerd banner with Steve. I mentioned it earlier, Steve Cockerham, and he's a sports guy, and I just wanted someone to kick back ideas, kind of like First Take style, without the well, I guess I do yell, without the fluff. I feel like they go over the top. I guess I do too, but not to that extent, not Skip Bayless style. But I just love talking and hearing opinions and hearing why Kobe's better than LeBron, or why LeBron's better than Kobe, or why MJ's better than LeBron, or why LeBron's better than MJ. Or Magic Johnson, how he's so underrated in the all time. Like all of those, I love that. I'm talking. Oh, I did it again. Um, Sorry about that. But obviously, basketball is like my main. I think I love that more than football, if I'm being honest. Um, I'm better at stats and all that and understanding it and all that. So I would say I'm more of a basketball guy than a football guy. Maybe it's just because it goes longer. I get to watch 82 games of basketball a year, opposed to just 16 games, well 18. But I love all of it, man. I'm not a big soccer guy. I know I could never do it. My school was big in soccer, and I used to hate on soccer players, but I don't really know why. I think it's just because most of my friends were soccer players, and I was a bully, kind of. Um, and I like to rag on people, but I never really. I wasn't a huge soccer guy, even though it's like the greatest, well, the most renowned sport in the world. Rugby. My brother played rugby, and so I'm a rugby fan. I'm a fan of all of it, man. If I can't do it, I'm usually a fan of it, which is most things in life. I feel like that's like what I am attracted to. It's like, oh, I could never do that. Okay, so I like it. But so sports, I do a little bit of everything, man. I follow weightlifting. I mean, I'm a huge fan. Thor is amazing. Thor, the power lifter, world's strongest man. Eddie Hall is amazing. CT Fletcher. If you're on YouTube, you know who CT is. Shout out to Magnificent Obsession, one of the greatest Netflix documentaries I've ever seen. Uh, I love CT, man. I love motivational people, things like that. I love that, man. Keeps you driven. I think that's why I kind of resonated with The Rock. Like he always said, like weightlifting was like his anchor and stuff. And for me, it's kind of the same way. I'm obviously not The Rock size, but I do okay. Uh, all that stuff, man. There's so much I like, so much I enjoy, and to talk about, especially as you can tell as I sit here and talk one on one with my Logitech camera. Hopefully it sounds good. I honestly have no idea how this is gonna sound. But yeah, that's why I wanted to get in the podcast biz, I guess. Uh, just so I could sit and talk if I wanted to. And because I feel like people don't have that outlet anymore, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. Is even though it's obviously not the Joe Rogan podcast. Shout out to Joe Rogan, because I'm sure he's watching this or listening to this. But when you get to that point, I think it becomes something else. Give people an outlet. My buddies can come sit down and talk shop. That's such a rare thing nowadays. So that's kind of where what I like, what I want to do with this, and I want to grow. Like when people ask me about this, um, obviously it's super small right now. I mean, not many viewers, all that stuff, but if it catches up, that's awesome. If it doesn't, it doesn't. For now, it's just like a creative outlet for me. But I want everything I do, I want it to be successful. So who knows? Maybe one day the Swiss Army Nerds would be a household thing. But I don't hang my hat on it. I still got other coals in the fire, stuff like that. So, but I like it, and I hope people like it. I mean, I know people listen to it, and I know that Facebook Live people loved it, man. But it's hard to do. It's not something you just pick up and run with. I'm still learning. still learning how to not have run-on sentences when I talk, because I feel like I do. But yeah, I want it to be something. I want it to be like a brand type thing. I want there to be Swiss Army nerds everywhere. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right? Like when you do something, you want to create like a little community out of it. I mean, that's why I think people resonate towards like video games and sports and in these little circles, because that's like those are your people, right? Like you ever go to like a Miami Heat game or something, like those are your people. You have, 20,000 best friends at that moment. Or if you're at a parade of, let's say this Philadelphia uh, thing, all of those people, it's like a giant celebration with your family because y'all love it. Y'all are there for that team. And I kind of wanted to get that sports family vibe and put it into a podcast. And I kind of hope, I think we've done that kind of. Um, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to critique your own thing. Like it's for me, it is. I know, because for me, I look at it and I'm like, I wish we had more of this and more of that. But it's not that easy. Like people gotta listen. People gotta see it. So I'm still figuring it all out. But I hope people dig it. I like doing it, and I guess that's what matters. Um, but I don't know. I guess I've talked a lot. I think like 26 minutes. I mean, I'm not going to go much longer, just because I could, I could, but I don't think I'm gonna. I just wanted to give you guys an idea of like the show, a little behind the scenes, but myself. I mean, I love doing this, and I hope people enjoy it. And if you do enjoy it, like if let me know, like if you want topics, if you want anything, just let me know. I mean, I want to be so interactive with it. Like that's the goal. Unfortunately, people have to want to interact, but I want to be interactive. I want to do those things, and I want to connect with people through this platform and give them the ability to kind of voice and stuff like that. Because I think nowadays we live in a very voiceless society, and I'm sure that sounds weird because everyone can tweet and say whatever they want to say whenever they want, but I don't think it gets heard. I think saying something with oomph and passion and stuff, I think that's different than just tweeting behind a media board or something. That's how I see it, at least. I think that if you're passionate about something, you should be able to vocalize it. And that's I guess it's a passion platform. Hashtag passion platform. I just hashtag. Um, but there's a million of us out there. There's a million billion YouTubers and a million billion podcasters and stuff like that. But I just wanted to create something different, something so broad that it can be a whole bunch of different communities that can just mesh, I guess. That's like the dream situation. That's obviously not what's happening, but yeah, I just wanted to give you guys like a peek, like I said, a peek through the curtains and get to know me and hopefully you're starting to understand me and my co-host Neil. Um, I think it would be great if Neil did one of these. He's something else, man. He's what did Patrick say? He's an enigma. He's an enigma. Uh, and he's a really cool and he's a great guy and he's good at this. And I think he makes a lot of people laugh and I really love that me and him have started this and are doing it, and we're almost to 40 episodes, and that's exciting. I mean, I know it's not heard and seen all around the world, but just the fact that we put 40 plus episodes. Well, it's not 40 plus, it's like 30 plus, but still a bunch of episodes out. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. It's there forever. People can listen to us whenever they want. I think it's cool. So we'll see where it goes. I just wanted to give you guys an idea. There's a ton more about me. Like I love Conor McGregor. I can't believe I left that out. He's my boy. Um, that's why that. Well, not why, but I'm a big fan because of that flag behind there. Also, I don't know if they're ever gonna listen to this, but this blue snowball, I bought it and from Amazon. Shout out to Amazon, and it doesn't work. So I'm super bummed. Actually, that's Neil's. Neil bought this one. Mine does work. Neil's doesn't. I'm not dissing Blue Snowball, but if someone wants to help me out, let me know. But I feel like I'm going a little crazy. So I am going to take off. Uh, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm just gonna say this because why not? I love Impractical Jokers. It's fantastic. So if you're an Impractical Jokers fan, you know, connect with me. We can watch an episode or two together because it's the shit. I love it. Um, I don't even know why I told you that. I think I'm just losing my mind because I'm talking to someone who can't interrupt me. Maybe. I don't know. Uh, I don't even know if this is gonna be listenable. Like if someone can sit there and listen to this, I don't know. I wanted to put something out there. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging because I know you guys would die without your Friday dose of Swiss Army Nerd soundage and visual in your mouth and face and earlobes. But I definitely need to cut this off. I think I'm getting weird. Yeah, I'm getting weird. Uh, anyway, so yeah, I gave you guys a look into me in my team, our team, I should say. Neil will hopefully be back next week because I'm pretty sure I'm going to make an ass of myself through this, but we'll see. I don't. I guess I've probably already done it in the last 30 plus episodes, but yeah. So hopefully you guys like you're picking up what I'm throwing down out there. And honestly, you can let me know if you don't like it, if you think I'm an ass, if you think I'm stupid, if you think I'm cute. Uh, let me know. Preferably positive things. But if not, I'll take anything at this point. But yeah, hit me up on Twitter. It's Swiss Army Nerds. YouTube, Swiss Army Nerds channel. Facebook, that's the best way to reach me. It's Swiss Army Nerds page on Facebook. You just hit us up, give us a like, and you get access to all the old episodes that we used to do on a live stream. Also, SoundCloud, that is our number one. That actually is the number one way to listen to our podcast. It's the only way, but the number one way, in my opinion, best way, SoundCloud, Swiss Army Nerds, hit us up. All the episodes you could ever want. Excuse me. All of the episodes of Sticky and Steve Sports Special, which I'm still workshopping that name. It's a mouthful. But yeah, you can access to all that. We have so much content. And it's funny and it's interesting. I think it is. Again, I'm biased as hell. I'm gonna pump up my brand. Uh, but yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, send me a tweet. To send me a tweet, say, hey, I like what you're doing. Hey, you suck. Hey, do something to your face. I don't know. You have all those options. Hit me up in the comments below. I mean, you can do all of that. I mean, we're excited to connect with people and see what we're doing and see if it's making anyone smile and laugh, because I don't know. Um, we have no way of knowing. So let us know. Hopefully next week we're back. We can do all those updates. Oh God, there's so much good stuff. The Infinity War trailer during the Super Bowl, the Venom teaser. What else? New games that are dropping. Some of the PUBG changes. What else we got? The Super Bowl that's coming up Monday. I don't think we got to talk about it. That was last week, but still, the Super Bowl and what happened to the Pats and what's going to happen to the Pats and just all that good stuff. Hopefully next week. We got a lot of content. It's almost Black Panther time, man. That's the movie right there. It's gonna be the shit. So I am super excited. So I feel like I've talked a lot. 30, almost 34 minutes now. So I'm gonna take off. But hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you let me know if you enjoyed it. I know I did. I thought I had fun. I did have fun. It was cool. And I hope you like I said, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. 'Cause I love doing it. And I appreciate every single person from the bottom of my heart that's downloaded, that's listened, that's watched, anything. And I know that sounds dramatic, but truly, I don't have many creative outlets. So for me, it means a lot to me, and it's really cool that people are somewhat interested enough to hit that download button and let me know. So, hopefully this it just gets better and better from here. And let me know. Let me know if what I'm doing is working or if I need to workshop some stuff. So I hope you all have a good one. Again, hit me up, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Swiss Army Nerds. That simple. Put that in the handle. You have access to Monsieur Stickrod, Mr. Stickrod, whatever. Bad joke. And I still don't know how to edit, so that's gonna make it in. Damn it. I need an editor. Anyway, so hit me up. Thank you. I hope you guys have a good week, and I will see you next week. Y'all have a good one, you hear?